Sea Devil Nation, your premier podcast for Sea Devil athletics. Hosted by Trent Brinkley.
I know a lot about Howie Dickerman, but I actually do.
With Zach Harris.
Do you have any comment on when you were on SportsCenter's top 10 for your number one play to Brandon Peel?
And Nick Denning.
Cape Fear Community College defeated Johnson Community College on the road 114-69.
Let's go to the studio and join the team.
What's going on, sports fans? Welcome into another edition of the Sea Devil Nation podcast. We're glad you've decided to tune in for this edition of the show after we did our debut episode 2 weeks ago on episode 1, where Ferrante Drakeford, former Sea Devil men's basketball player, stopped by to discuss his journey at Cape Fear Community College and where it ultimately led him to now be a professional basketball player overseas in Spain. On this edition of the show, we're going to introduce our Sea Devil men's and women's basketball programs as they're gearing up for their 2016-2017 respective seasons. In segment number 1 of today's show, we're going to introduce you to head coach Lori Drake of your Sea Devil women's basketball program. Hear her coaching philosophy of what goes into playing for Sea Devil women's basketball head coach Lori Drake. She's also going to give an outlook of how she thinks her team's going to do at this weekend's Georgia road trip as they get set for that. In segment number 2, we're going to be joined by head coach Ryan Mantlo of the Sea Devil men's basketball program. He's going to stop by to discuss the Sea Devils' 114-69 victory over Johnson Community College in their season opener last weekend. He's also going to discuss his team expectations going into this weekend's Cape Fear Classic tournament hosted by Cape Fear Community College inside the Schwartz Center, as the Cape Fear Community College men's basketball team will first play 1-1 Lenore Community College this evening in their opening day action at the Cape Fear Classic. Tip-off is scheduled for 7 p.m. Eastern at the Schwartz Center. The Sea Devils will then play 4-0 undefeated and number 2 in the nation, Georgia Highlands College, Saturday, their closing day of the Classic. Tip-off for that game is scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern at the Schwartz Center. So we hope to see you come out and support the men's basketball program this weekend at the Cape Fear Classic. Also ahead on this edition of the Sea Devil Nation podcast, we'll introduce you to our first Sea Devil player spotlight, an inside look at our student athletes here at Cape Fear Community College. This week's selection is sophomore men's basketball forward DeVarte Watson. Hear Watson's personal journey to Cape Fear Community College, what he's learned from Sea Devil men's basketball head coach Ryan Mantlo during his time here. You'll also hear his personal connection to the late Tyree Coker, a former Sea Devil men's basketball player, and an inside look at why DeVarte Watson chose to commit to UNC Charlotte after his time is up here at Cape Fear Community College to play for head coach Mark Price and his coaching staff. Sea Devil beat writer Nick Denning will also stop by to provide a weekly Sea Devil sports recap from the past week of sports here at Cape Fear Community College. Nick will recap how the Cape Fear volleyball team fared in the 2016 Region 10 Conference Tournament hosted by Wake Tech Community College this past weekend. Nick will also recap how the Sea Devil women's soccer team were able to come out with a 3-1 victory in the 2016 District L Championship over Hartford Community College. Hear post-game audio from head coach Ryan Deppo following their win as the team now heads to their first NJCAA Division I National Tournament this upcoming Monday. Nick will finally recap the Sea Devil men's basketball 114-69 victory over Johnson Community College. Hear who Nick thought made an impact for the Cape Fear to come out with a victory. So all that ahead on this edition of the Sea Devil Nation podcast. But first, a word from Sea Devil women's basketball head coach Lori Drake about the Sea Devil women's basketball program, why you should come out and support. And a word from Brinkley Munez, the Blue Crew student section leader, of why you should join the Blue Crew and come out as a student and support our Sea Devil athletics. So all that ahead on this edition of the Sea Devil Nation podcast, so stay tuned.
Sea Devil fans, this is Coach Drake from your nationally ranked women's basketball team. We are excited for another successful season in the 910. Follow our women's basketball team on Instagram at Cape Fear Women's BB and on Facebook at Cape Fear Women's Basketball. Come support our Sea Devils and join the Blue Crew.
Hey, my name is Brinkley and I'm a cheerleader here at Cape Fear. Also co-president of Blue Crew. Do you want to be a part of something great? Come join Blue Crew. Blue Crew is CFCC's new student section that supports all of our sports teams by showing an immense amount of spirit and bringing out the inner Sea Devil inside. So show some love and come out to support our men's basketball team tonight at 7 p.m. in the Schwartz Center located across from WWAY Studios. If you want to be a part of something great and compete in awesome halftime giveaways like free pizza for a year from Domino's, come pack the Schwartz and follow us on Instagram at Blue Crew Nation, #PackTheSchwartz. Go Sea Devils!
to segment 1 of the Sea Devil Nation podcast. In segment number 1, we're going to introduce you to Sea Devil women's basketball head coach Lori Drake, who now joins us.
Glad to be back.
What made you ultimately decide to come back after you spent a year at High Point as an assistant?
I started the program here at Cape Fear and just have a really strong passion of what we do here at Cape Fear Community College and within our athletic department. And just going away for a year as an assistant really helped me grow as a coach. I learned a lot and, ultimately realized that I wanted to be a head coach. So getting back here was really, really exciting for me.
Absolutely. When you found out the job was opening, what was the moment like? Did you know that you wanted to come back?
Yeah, I kind of knew. And it was a decision for me of did I want to come back down to the JUCO level or did I want to stay at the NCAA Division I level? And again, I just have a strong passion for JUCO athletics. So getting back here was really important to me. So I was pretty excited.
Absolutely.
Coach, you've had a couple weeks of preseason now. You've played a couple of exhibitions. How do you feel your team has played so far this preseason?
Yeah, I'm excited. I always throw my team into tough situations in the preseason, and playing NCAA level teams is really important for us, especially when we jump into the season and we have to go play South Georgia Tech next weekend. Really, really good JUCO D1 team. So really, really pleased with the way our preseason's gone so far, developing every day, growing, and we're ready for what's to come.
What do you think will be a strength or strengths of your team this season?
Right now, our strengths are post players. So no question, we probably have one of the best post players in the country in Destiny Campbell. So that's pretty exciting. But, she's complemented by, Desiree Green, Ari Young, and Taylor Folks. So, I see that as being our strength, but, we're starting to develop even more in that guard role. So strengths all the way around. It's tough to say right now.
Is there a place where you feel like maybe your team could use maybe a little bit more improvement as the season draws near?
Absolutely. We can always improve. And I tell my kids to never settle. Don't be mediocre, and that's every day. And they've done a pretty good job of not allowing that to happen. We have a couple of dull moments, but you have to remember it's JUCO, so we're half veteran, half newbies. So it's it's tough, and just getting everyone to buy in. But improvement wise, it's going to be we'll find something new each and every day that we step on the floor.
You mentioned Destiny, Ari, and Taylor. Along with those, what are other players you feel have stood out for you so far?
Yeah, Desiree Green, returning sophomore. She's my 5. She's my big man right now, and really, really improved skill-wise. I don't think that she gets enough credit for everything that she does on the floor, and she just fills up a stat sheet. So as far as the post side goes, she's probably one that stood out the most to me right now. Guard-wise, I've got some freshmen that are pretty strong, so it's exciting. And Jaleesa Dillard comes from Millbrook and Raleigh, and just a super special athlete who's jumped into a starting position for me, and has been pretty exciting just to see her grow over the preseason.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with Millbrook. I was at Leesville Rose, so I know very much how those programs have been very strong last decade or further. I guess, and finally, what are some expectations? What are your expectations for this team, just for the entire season?
Yeah, we come out, we're 9th in the country now, so expectations are high, and I always have super high expectations, and of course it's to win the championship, win Region 10, go to nationals, be national champs, and we are very capable of doing that. Just making sure that these young ladies are bought in the classroom, on the court, and making sure that we're improving steadily throughout the season. So no downfalls.
Looking back at the national tournament, the team did make the national tournament last year, and when we first spoke, you did say you followed the team last year when they were making their run. From what you saw from the team last year when they played in the Can you take from what you saw in that tournament and apply it to the team this year?
Yeah, I watched every game. I was locked in on the computer, and one of the biggest things that I saw that we're not going to do this year is turnovers. And valuing the ball, I think, is really, really important for us in every possession. Defensively, not fouling. We put a lot of teams to the free throw line in that tournament, and it made it tough. So, some expectations and goals that go with that, are keeping teams under, 55 points a game. So, in order for us to do that, we got to lock up, defend, and not foul. So, just a couple things that I did see, but highly enjoyed watching them play throughout the tournament last year.
And speaking of defensive fouls, I know there's been some new rules that they've established about defensive fouling, in the paint as well as in the post. Can you explain a little bit about, how you have to train your post players to, avoid these new rules?
Yeah, the rules are tough. Like, our post players and our guards, it's super tough. As far as our posts go, we're just teaching our posts to keep an arm bar. You can't extend. You can have it in the back, but once you extend it, it's going to be a foul. So just really making sure that they're either three-quartering in the paint, or if they get stuck behind, it's straight up. We're so long that we'll disrupt any shot that comes in the paint. So, and as far as our guards go, you take it on the outside. Like, you can't put your hand on anybody. You can check them once, and that's it. And then, if you go again, then it's going to be a foul. So it makes it tough for the women's game.
Absolutely. And you brought up earlier with Nick about that you want expectations in the classroom to be strong. What are some of the expectations you've really set out for this team this year?
Yeah, academics comes first and foremost for me. So, we have to be students before we can be athletes, and really, really stressing that a lot with our team this year. And, I really want to have one of the closest or the highest GPAs in the athletic department. So it takes a lot of work. A lot of work on their end, a lot of work on our end, and just making sure that they're staying disciplined and doing what they need to do academically. So a lot of study halls, a lot of academic sessions.
Absolutely. You've played at the highest level professionally when you played in Europe, and you've played at a four-year school after you played JUCO. Do you take your personal experience as a career player and push it on the kids so they know what it's like, to go from the JUCO ranks all the way to the top?
Yeah, absolutely. I do, and I've not only taken what I've learned as a player, but what I've learned as a coach as well. So, and I do. I tell them, you want to be Division I athletes. Well, I have to treat you like it now in order to prepare you for what's to come. Sending you off to a Division I school and you're not prepared. So, I'm excited about our kids. I think they're bought into what the expectations are to be a next level athlete. But it's always a process every day.
Absolutely. Coach, before we let you go, is there anything, that you want to really preach about Sea Devil Nation, whether this is a fan listening or just a family member that really wants to know who Coach Drake is and what Sea Devil Nation's all about?
Yeah, come to our games. I think that's most important. We want to build our fan base. We want more people in the Schwartz Center. I really say come to our games. Come, get involved, enjoy, get to know our athletes. I think that's really important. Obviously we do our best to get them in the community as well. So, the Sea Devil Nation is growing. Look at our women's soccer program. Just won, Region 10 championship. So, across the board, I think athletics is growing, and it's tremendous on the national level of things. So, but yeah, about me, I'm very passionate. Watch me coach. You can probably hear it in my voice. So, love my kids. I love them to death, and want what's best for them and to build them into young women. So, come see us.
Absolutely. And you guys if you haven't already, you should indeed follow the Cape Fear women's basketball team on Instagram. She puts up a lot of behind-the-scenes videos of what it's like to be a Sea Devil player for Coach Drake. So, Coach Drake, we wish you all the best in the tournament at South Georgia Tech.
Thank you.
All right.
That was our exclusive preseason interview with head coach Lori Drake of your nationally ranked Sea Devil women's basketball program. We now send you for our exclusive player profile spotlight, an inside look at our student athletes off the court. This week, we get to know DeVarte Watson. Here's that exclusive interview with Sea Devil men's basketball forward DeVarte Watson. On this week's edition of the Sea Devil Nation Player Profile, we introduce you to Sea Devil men's basketball forward DeVarte Watson, the Greenville, South Carolina native. He found a home at Cape Fear Community College. Why did DeVarte choose Cape Fear? It's because of these reasons.
It meant the world to me. They gave me the opportunity to come and play basketball after I kind of messed up and got behind with school and other things. And it kind of helped me focus in and see what I needed to work on to become better as a person and just grow as a man. Cape Fear has given me great opportunities, and they showed me a lot. They taught me how to become a better person, how to value things better, and just appreciate what's given to me, because you're not blessed every day to wake up and come out and had an opportunity to play basketball, and I've been given that chance again.
Given that chance with the Cape Fear Community College men's basketball program, DeVarte had a strong freshman season. In 26 games played last year, he made 18 starts as a freshman, averaging 6.5 points per game, 7.8 rebounds per game, and 1.7 blocks per game, while shooting 46.2% from the field and 47.2% from the free throw line. DeVarte had a career-high 13 points against Denmark Tech on January 30, 2016, netted 14 rebounds against Chipola College on November 7, 2015, and had a career-high 5 blocks against Broward College on December 13, 2015. So what is DeVarte Watson's reasons why he likes playing for Coach Ryan Mantlo? Is because
playing for Coach Mantlo has helped me a lot. He's always in my circle. He's always in my corner trying to help me get better. He's always pushing me each and every day to become a better player. He's always motivating and getting on to me about something because he wants to see the best out of me each and every day.
Outside of head coach Ryan Mantlo, another particular player really motivated DeVarte Watson during his freshman season, and that is the former Sea Devil, Tyreek Coker. Coker, who was a sophomore last season, played with DeVarte when DeVarte was a freshman last season during the 2015-2016 season. DeVarte said he really learned a lot from Tyreek, who ultimately transferred to Oklahoma State, where he was going to spend his junior and senior season with the Cowboys men's basketball team under head coach Brad Underwood, but sadly passed away during a summer workup. Here's what DeVarte Watson said about the late Tyreek Coker, especially when he hears Ty's game time speech.
Ty was my big brother. Ty showed me the ropes. Ty brought me in when I first came to Cape Fear, opened his arms up to me. He was just a happy person and always kept a smile on my face, always kept me laughing, always pushed me to be better, and was just always there and always in my circle. He had my back for me when my close friend Nathan Moore died, and for him to be gone, it's really hurtful, and it just pushes me each and every day to keep getting better.
I drive to get better every day with Tyreek having your back while he's watching from the sky allowed DeVarte Watson to get a scholarship offer to play at UNC Charlotte for head coach Mark Price and his staff in Conference USA. DeVarte Watson ultimately chose that decision to play for UNC Charlotte for his junior season next season when he suits up for the 49ers. DeVarte Watson spoke heavily about head coach Mark Price and about why he chose to play for UNC Charlotte.
The reason I chose to play at Charlotte, I just felt like it was home to me. It's close to my home. I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, and it's just I feel like my family can come out and support me each and every day, and I can grow in Charlotte. I like the city of Charlotte. I've been to Charlotte. I've lived in Charlotte, so I know a lot about Charlotte, and I know that the opportunity that's there for me.
We're glad sophomore forward DeVarte Watson will take that opportunity to further his education at the University of Charlotte to play for head coach Mark Price for the next 2 seasons. This has been your Sea Devil Weekly Player Profile Spotlight with Sea Devil men's basketball forward DeVarte Watson. We now send you to the studio and join Nick Denning for the latest of Sea Devil athletics from this past week.
Hello, Sea Devil Nation. This is Sea Devil beat writer Nick Denning here to provide you a recap of the week that was in Sea Devil sports here at Cape Fear Community College. We'll start with volleyball. Volleyball participated in the Region 10 conference tournament this weekend. They won their opening match 3-0 over Brunswick Community College. In that game, Amber Tyndale had 8 kills, while Farron Salazar had 16 assists and 5 digs. The next day, the Sea Devils played Surrey Community College and would win the semifinal match 3-1. Amber Tyndale had 18 kills, while Casey Markle had 17. Farron Salazar and Allie Jenkins each had 24 assists. The Sea Devils would move to the conference final, but would fall to Catawba Valley Community College 3-1. In that game, Casey Markle had 8 kills, 4 digs, and 4 blocks, while Farron Salazar had 16 assists and 6 digs. Moving on to women's soccer, the Cape Fear women's soccer team played in the district championship against Hartford Community College and won by a score of 3-1. After going down 1-0, the girls responded with 3 goals in the second half.
Melissa Castellanos would score the equalizer in the 56th minute, while Jenna Pecorini would score the winner in the 60th. Then to give them a 2-goal cushion, Elena Capps would score in the 80th minute. This is the first time that the Cape Fear women have won the district championship. They will move on to the national tournament, which will take place on November 14th. Afterwards, head coach Ryan Deppa had this to say about the game.
Pretty awesome. And, really awesome to see what's going on over there with all the kids and how happy they are and how happy they were running on the field. It's pretty special.
Finally, we move on to men's basketball, where Cape Fear Community College defeated Johnson Community College on the road 114-69. Alonzo Tyson and Jock Brown led with 18 points. Alonzo Tyson also had 14 rebounds to go along with that. All 5 starters scored in double figures. DeVarte Watson finished with a double-double of 11 points and 11 rebounds. This has been your recap in sports. We will now send you back to Trent Brinkley, who is now an exclusive interview with men's basketball coach Ryan Mantlo.
We're here with now Sea Devil men's basketball head coach Ryan Mantlo, coming off a 114-69 win over Johnston Community College in their first game of the season. Coach, welcome to the show.
I appreciate it.
Talk a little bit about the big win, 114-69 over Johnston Community College in your season opener. What kind of things did you see that your team did well?
We're still learning each other. We're still learning how to kind of mesh together. But the kids played really hard. Anytime you put up 114 points, it's a good night. So it's just a building process, and we're going to take it day by day.
Absolutely. All 5 starters were scoring in double digits. Alonzo Tyson had a double-double. DeVarte Watson also got you a double-double. Mm-hmm. Was there a particular player on the starting 5 that you saw really stood out?
No, I think it was just a whole team effort. We had 8 kids finishing double figures, which is really impressive. Obviously DeVarte played great defensively on the glass as well as Alonzo, but it just was a total team effort, so proud of all of them.
Absolutely. You addressed that, point guard play is going to be a big part of your season this year. You're the former point guard. Coach Lane was also a point guard. When Jock Brown commits 5 turnovers, I know you've been hitting hard on practice, that turnovers can make you lose games. What kind of things do you want to see out of your freshman point guards this year to help them learn early?
Well, I wish they were still freshmen. Both of them are, Trey and Jock are both sophomores, but it's, they've got to understand tempo, and, we're really difficult on them in practice, and, I think it's a little bit of us haven't played that position, so we hold them to a high standard. But, I think as they continue to grow and feel each other and just understand each other's games, I think you'll see the turnovers come down, and these 2 young men will have great seasons.
Going off of that, you guys did play well. Assist-wise, you had 24 assists on 45 made shots. Is that kind of the production you'd like to see?
Yeah, I love it. We love to share the ball. I thought there was a couple of times where we could have got a couple more assists, and we hit on that. But we are sharing the ball well and hope to continue that.
Absolutely. Moving into this weekend, it's the Cape Fear Classic. You guys will play Lenore Community College on Friday at 7 in the first game of the tournament. Follow that up with a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday against Georgia Highlands. What are you looking to see out of your team this weekend?
It's going to be tough. You got two good teams coming in here, and we're going to have to put back-to-back performances together. And Georgia Highlands being number 2 in the country, this is a game that can really put us on the map. So we're excited to get out, and we definitely don't want to overlook Lenore, and then we're going to have to get ready in a hurry for Georgia Highlands.
Speaking of that, you do bring up Georgia Highlands as the number 2 team in the country. Do you rely more on your sophomore leadership to speak on when you play a big team like this, or do you guys more as the coaches take the reins of speaking to the kids?
No, I think we take every game for what it is. Whether they're number 2, they're not ranked. We know we have to come out and do what we do, and that's just play Cape Fear basketball. So I think we never want to hype anybody up too much, and we just want to come out and just do what we do.
Absolutely. Friday's game is the home opener for Cape Fear. You guys are coming off a great season last season. You won 24 games, 8 losses. What are your biggest goals that you want to see the team do on the court, and then more specifically off the court?
Yeah. We had a great season. We've had a great run here the past 9 years, and I think it's more about just continuing to build that foundation and helping young people grow. And with DeVarte signing yesterday, that's more important than championships to me. And so as long as these kids continue to grow and mature and do what they need to, like you said, off the floor academically. You know, our goal has always been to try to get to a 3-0, and we've been so close. So hopefully this is the year we kind of take that next step. And it would be great to have a 3-0 team and then a team that goes out and competes at Hutch.
Absolutely. Speaking of DeVarte, before we let you go, talk a little bit about, yesterday he did sign his national letter of intent with University of Charlotte. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about what DeVarte has meant to the program.
He's come in and done a great job. He's such a big kid, but he's a great kid. And so, he's brought a sense of maturity with him being a little bit older. And he's brought some stability in that front line. So we're very, very proud of him. We're certainly gonna push him to his limits this season, and then we're going to be excited to watch him as a 49er.
Absolutely. Well, we wish you all the best against Lenore, and Georgia Highlands will get up with you a little bit later in the season and discuss how the team's coming along.
Thanks, Trent.
Anytime, Coach. Well, that was my exclusive interview with head coach Ryan Mantlo of your Sea Devil men's basketball program as they get ready to host the Cape Fear Classic here at the Schwartz Center. That gets underway tonight at 7 p.m. as the Sea Devil men's basketball team will play Lenore Community College, who enters the game with a 1-1 record on the season, as your Sea Devils enter with a 1-0 record. The Sea Devils will then play against number 2 ranked Georgia Highlands College tomorrow afternoon at 3 p.m. inside the Schwartz Center. So we hope to see you at the Cape Fear Classic this weekend at the Schwartz Center. If you're unable to make it to the games this weekend, you can still follow the games live on www.goseadevils.com. Simply click on sports, click on the men's basketball schedule, and click on live stats for the Lenore Community College and Georgia Highlands match, and you'll see all the action of these weekend's games as they unfold. We want to thank Sea Devil beat writer Nick Denning for stopping by to provide his weekly sports recap of all things Sea Devil athletics here at Cape Fear Community College. We also want to thank our 2 head coaches, head coach Lori Drake of your Sea Devil women's basketball program, and Ryan Mantlo, your head coach of the Sea Devil men's basketball program, for stopping by in today's show to discuss their teams as they get ready for the 2016-2017 season. I want to thank DeVarte Watson, sophomore forward for your Sea Devil men's basketball program, stopping by to discuss his personal journey at Cape Fear Community College and what he's enjoyed playing for Sea Devil men's basketball head coach Ryan Mantlo. Well, that just about does it in this edition of the show. The next installment of the show will have head coach Ryan Deppa of the Sea Devil women's soccer team stopping by to provide a postseason interview on his thoughts of how the team performed this season during the 2016-2017 season. We wish them all the best this upcoming week at the 2016 NJCAA National Tournament for Women's Soccer. So until next time, Sea Devil fans, I'm Jerome Brinkle.